Hi everyone, I'm Tim, and I'd like to take you on a tour of our new multi-page form feature. A multi-page form is useful for splitting up information into smaller chunks for your user. In this example, we'll be throwing a party and we'll need to collect information about the attendees. In a traditional single-page form, we may have something that looks like this. A name and email field sit on top of a food and drink preference. Let's divide that up by context so that contact information sits on one page and food preferences on another. To do this, we simply drag a page break from the Add Fields menu into the field list. Notice the content now sits on two pages, with text and previous buttons and with a context menu on top. We'll name the button in this step from Next Page to something more interesting. Notice that we have a previous button down below and the pagination options at the top. We can adjust those buttons with text or an image, and we can also change the context between circles, percentages, and no context at all. We'll show circles for now. We can give distinct names to the pages for easy reference and optionally show page titles in the progress bar, as well as hide page numbers in the footer. We'll save our form and view it as our end user would in another window. Now that we have our form on two pages, the user will fill out one page at a time. If they try to submit without filling out the page correctly, they will be shown a message indicating their errors. Upon successful submission, they will be taken to the next page. The context bar updates to show the user they are on page 2. If the user wishes, they can go back and forth between pages, and on final submit, the user will be taken to the confirmation page or redirect URL. With the form filled out, let's have a look at what Wufoo admin sees. Going to the entry manager, we can see that the entries appear just as they would for a single page form. We've also made for easy editing by placing all fields together and not making them multi-page. This allows you to conveniently change data with minimal clicks instead of having to page through multiple pages per entry you wish to edit. With multi-page forms, we're introducing a new concept called partial submissions. Looking to the right, we can see a green bar labeled Complete. This means that the user filled out the entire form. Looking over our past entries, we can see that one is missing a food preference. This means that the user probably closed their browser or navigated away after filling out the first page but not the second. The status bar now shows 50% in red, which tells us they only filled out half of the form. Storing this data is useful for gathering leads and also for finding out where users may run into problems while filling out a form. Taking this concept a step further, we can make full reports off multi-page data. The sample report shows the familiar report elements in addition to those related to multi-page forms. We have 2 pie graphs, and a third showing the last page accessed. We can see that 83% of people finished filling out page 2, and 17 people left off on page 1. The data grid element has new optional columns showing complete or incomplete, and you can also add last page accessed to the additional fields menu. Lastly, I'd like to point out that reports can be further customized in the report builder. We can narrow down selected entries that are any combination of complete and incomplete. This example is just a subset of the filtering power available. Multi-page forms also work with payment integration, notification emails, and all other form settings in Wufoo. And that sums up our multi-page demo. Log in and head to the form builder to get started on your own. Goodbye for now.